Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to an almost full team for Tuesday nights Breaking the Mold. How you guys doing?
We're good.
Hi.
Doing good.
Hey.
Nice. Sorry, I don't have enough lighting in here, so I feel like I'm that floating head in the dark. Listen, first and foremost, apologize for the issues last week. We had some last minute scheduling surprises pop up, and then of course got complicated with some technical difficulties. So StreamYard wasn't really agreeing, and just kind of winged it for the rest of the night. But we got 5 of the 6 of us here. Jose's still on assignment, but yeah, we'll just we'll start off with JD. JD, how's it going? How was your weekend?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Trying to keep my brain in its container, so to speak, because work is driving me nuts. But it's good. It's busy. But weekend was awesome. Just an awesome time. Had some a nice couple handfuls of visitors. And we all hung out all weekend, and yeah, it was just a good time.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool. Are you pretty steady as far as bookings with clients coming in since things are opened up again?
I'm booked out till November, so
Damn, that works.
yeah, it's kind of overwhelming. But before I kept it where I was about a month out, just so I could keep up with it. But
Sure.
now it's a little beyond that now. So
That's
So,
cool.
yeah.
Well, that's nice that you're getting people to hang out and do stuff without having a show or a convention, right? That seems to be the case these days. You got to make your own fun, right?
absolutely, yeah. So Chan and I were talking, and it was one of those things like, hey, if this is how we get to hang out with people from now on, like, so be it.
Right.
All right. But yeah, the Wolfies were here, and the Lowrys, Gort, and his woman, and Vinny was here, and our buddy from GameStop was here.
GameStop at your house? Wow.
I was gonna say, I'm like, that's awesome.
Now our buddy Matt that works at GameStop makes sure I get everything that I pre-order and all that stuff.
Is that how you bribe them?
Yeah.
From my house.
Right.
Yeah, feed him.
Make sure you get my
No,
pre-orders.
it was actually his first time here, and he was like, he texted me like yesterday or the day before, and he's like, dude, I'm still trying to process everything that I saw there. I'm gonna have to come back for just so I can believe that it was true.
Yeah, get that like toilet paper long receipt. Of
So,
pre-orders.
I think that's awesome, man. I've never had a chance to make it to your place yet, and like I know everyone really, that you and Chan like live right. It's what you enjoy, and everyone seems like they're so welcome there, right? So I always say that's how you want your home to feel. I think, right? That
Yeah,
people
I
feel
mean-
like that's a place to be, and that feeling. So it's not easy to create that.
Like we say it to everybody, like it doesn't matter if you're here or not, you're welcome.
Right.
All you guys, get out of your house. Sorry.
All right.
But yeah, then Daniel and his woman were here. I'm probably forgetting people, but there was a bunch of people here, and it was a lot of fun. We played Cards Against Humanity and stuff like that.
Oh, that's fun. That's cool. So let me ask you really quick. You and Chan typically have some pretty good hauls. You don't have to go through everything. Did you get any surprise, items this week that you really kind of liked that stood out to you?
Well, Gort showed up with this guy.
Oh, is that the Rhino?
Yeah, the Rhino.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
I think they're making that in another deco also, if I read
Yeah,
somewhere.
I think there isn't it like a blue one?
Yeah, something like
Like
that,
an
like a
ice-
bluish white. Yep,
Ice one.
that's cool.
Yeah. So I know that's like, I guess people that collect Predator or aliens kind of having a hard time finding that one. and he found it, and he was like, "Yeah, I got an extra one, and I missed your birthday, so here you go, buddy." I'm like,
Nice.
"Oh, buddy." So we'll add it to our aliens collection. And then I got this today from E. So this came in the mail today. So
That's good there.
Oh.
Okay.
yeah.
Was that a turtle?
Nope, it was a Magnum.
Yeah. It's a Ferrari.
A vroom vroom.
Yep.
A
Oh, I didn't know you. I thought you were so blessed.
And Chan was surprised with this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I picked up one of those things for my wife, an
Yeah.
LP player. She has a couple LPs, and she like I think what Chan said before.
You mean a
she
record?
had one.
Wait,
Yeah,
a record?
Record LP. Yeah,
Okay, he's
record.
calling it LP. I'm like, I hear LP, I think loss prevention. Sorry.
Lost.
All right.
Yeah, so, yep. Those things are awesome.
Yeah.
It's cool. Well, Tom, how was your weekend?
It was good, busy. It was my anniversary, so my wedding anniversary.
Oh.
So
Well, happy anniversary. I almost said happy birthday.
Happy anniversary. Right.
thank you. Yeah. So
How
it was
ma-
fun.
how many is
We made the best of it because
Yeah.
we were supposed to go away to Hawaii, but we canceled our trip.
Yeah, that's a bummer. How many years
Why?
for you guys?
Or Hawaii
6.
cancer trip.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay.
6 years.
So what's
it
the
was fun.
traditional gift
You know,
for
we
6 years?
we hit the beach a couple days and or like I think the text that I got that defined my weekend was from Dave. He's like, "Man, you're so busy." 'Cause he keeps like,
Yo, the thing
he's
is,
like, "What are
you text
hey,
Dom. I'm like,
what are you
hey.
doing?"
He texted you back 6.5 hours later. Sorry, I forgot my phone again somewhere. And then it's like, dude, if I needed you, it's done. It's over now.
Yeah,
Like, you
I'm
know?
don't call me if you needed me to rescue because actually, funny story. We were at we went to Monday. We went tubing down the Delaware, so it was fun. It was really great. We had a great time. The weather was awesome. So
There?
what?
Where'd you
Tubing down
go?
the Delaware?
Tubing
Delaware. Yeah, tubing.
down to Delaware. I used to do that. Believe it or not.
Yeah, the Delaware River.
That's cool.
So it was pretty cool. First time I did it, we were invited, so we ended up going down, and it was fun. Mid stop on your trip, you get to stop and have some lunch. They have like this little concession stand that they're, I guess, popular for. They call it the hot dog man, and so we were having lunch, and after we were done with our lunch, and basically you would have to paddle to one side of the river to get to this hot dog man. They warn, there's warning signs as you approach because you have to paddle like left of the river to get to him. So if you don't paddle left, you have a possibility of missing him because the current will take you right past. So I guess as we finished lunch and we were about to go, a family, like a mom and 3 kids were, all didn't, I guess, paddle left enough, and they were missing the hot dog man. And so the kids jumped off out of the raft, and as this one kid, I think he was like probably 6 years old, 6-7 years old, and he got away from the mother, and he was kind of like swimming and against the current, and he couldn't, it's only about I would say 3 feet of water, 4 feet of water, but with regards to the current, it just makes it really hard to swim back against it. So he couldn't, he was tiring himself out, and he was getting away from the mom. So like everybody's looking, like watching this happen. Like, I don't know if anyone was like kind of paying attention or didn't understand the severity of the situation to the point where I knew the kid was going to tire himself out. And I'm watching this, and I'm like, okay. And I start walking, and I'm like, I said to my wife, I'm like, I'm going to help I'm going to start walking towards them because I don't know if they're going to need help. So I start walking towards them, and lo and behold, the mother couldn't get to him, and he was kept, just bobbing up and down, bobbing up and down, bobbing up and down. And I just kind of walked over, and eventually I jumped into the water, swam to him, and rescued him and his sister, because the sister went and eventually tried to go for him, and she got stuck. So I saved 2 little kids in the river this weekend, so
Good
it was
done.
fun.
Pulling a David Hasselhoff over there.
It wasn't that extreme. The funny is,
Delaware.
small world. It's a small world because the same lady that this happened to was the same lady behind me in line when we had to register and give our like we had to sign a waiver. Obviously, all these places make you sign a waiver for those actually those incidents that were occurring to her.
Right.
So. And it was actually the same lady that when I started approaching, she's like, because she's trying to get to him as 2, and she's like, she's like, oh, hi, we meet again, small world, and I'm like, yeah. So I grabbed her, extended my hands to the 2 children, and grabbed them and pulled them in, and I guess due to my big body mass, no current can stop Dom.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Was like what he's not saying. He took one giant step in and then just reached over and picked them both up at the same time and set them up.
The funny thing is my nephew, it's just a great kid. He wanted to save them too, and he was like, he's like right by my side, ready to run out with me. But I'm like, no, stay here, because I didn't want him to get stuck as well, and get caught in the current. And I'm saving 3 kids, and then they're dragging me in, and we're all going down and swimming down the river. But it was a fun day. It was not it wasn't too extreme to the point where the kid was about to drown, but it could have got ugly if he kept still struggling and went under because he just got tired.
Yeah, dude, no, that's good though, man. You got to be careful. In this day and age, so many people stand by and watch stuff, that's happening, and they don't take any action. And look, accidents still happen that way. So it's
kid! Look at that kid! Oh my gosh!
It was
look at
right.
That kid.
That
kid.
It was,
oh my gosh!
It was like that type of moment. It was that type of moment because there was about 100 people on the island that this hot dog man's on, and we're all looking. We're all eating and watching, and it's like. It's just nobody took. Eventually, a guy came out to help because the tubes started getting away from the mother. So he grabbed the tubes as well, and so there was 2 of us that helped, and she was a little embarrassed, but you can't really help in that situation because they just were panicking. They didn't want to miss the hot dog man. They jumped off the thing, and it just kind of got out of control.
It's the panic. That's what happens. You know what I mean? So. That's cool.
It was fun. It was
aside
a good
from
time.
saving. Yeah, go ahead.
It was a good time. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The river itself is not so deep. It's the deepest it gets is about where we are, the strip that we were in. It gets from between 2 feet to about 5. I think there was one time where I was completely submerged by touching the floor. So maybe 6 feet in a couple of areas. So. The parts are hard is that if you're off your tube and you're just swimming down the river, it's hard to, when it gets to that 2 feet level, it's like you're hitting rocks, like your knees are hitting rocks, and you got to keep your legs up. And so it was I didn't want to stay on the tube the whole time. So I was swimming in the river most of the time. And when it gets to those lower parts, I just threw my life preserver on and just floated down the river, which was really nice. And the rapid, there wasn't extreme rapids. They say it's level 1 rapids. So there was a couple of times where it got a little fast and choppy, where it was kind of fun floating down and hitting into some waves in here and there. So it was fun. But then eventually you get out. It's funny because at the end there's 2 pillars. It reminded me Lord of the Rings. By the end of the river, you'll see these 2 pillars. Make sure you get to the left and exit out. I'm like, I was thinking past the 2 pillars, just a waterfall.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's who knows what happens there?
Pillars. But it was fun. Nice day, beautiful out there. I got sunburn.
I was just gonna ask you that. Yeah. Every time I went tubing, I get sunburn.
Oh, dude.
Because you're in and out the water, so you don't really feel it.
No.
You jump in on and off the raft just to get
it. Yeah. Right. There's points in times where the water got so low, so I just jumped back on my tube, and and it just, you get like you said, Dave, you don't know, you're exposed to the sun without knowing, you're cooled off, and the water is so nice and fresh, and
especially if you're drinking or inebriated somehow with something,
yeah.
You're just this is great, look at this, and fucking you look like a lobster the next day.
Yeah. So like we left at 7 o'clock here. Is that 7 o'clock we left at? We left around 9:30. We woke up at 7. So we left around 9:30. Got there around 10:30, and then we ended up leaving there around 5:30. So it was a full day. Like it was about 6 hours that we stayed on the river, mostly. So
Nice.
good time.
So, how about you? Did you get anything like cool that stood out to you that you really liked?
I picked up some nice things for yourself.
Yeah, you did.
Looking,
I appreciate that.
looking out for friends. I bumped into. I guess I didn't know it was a Walmart exclusive cable from the movie Marvel Legends. So I saw it and I thought you would be interested in that. And
You're correct.
I did find the Apocalypse Target exclusive. There is the same as the Red Hulk. I think all targets are getting like 2 each right now, and they're in the repack boxes. So
Yeah, I
It was
found two of them as well. Grab them both.
yeah, so
Like, fuck these
If
scalpers. There's no goddamn GI Joes. I'm
Is-
taking both. Of
Is
these
that a
Apocalypse.
Target exclusive, that one, or I thought that was being sold in multiple places?
it is. But like,
Okay.
I guess it's just I don't think Walmart's going to carry it. It's just Target
Gotcha.
and I guess
Okay.
like websites, web
Oh yeah,
Web.
GameStop has them too.
and GameStop has it too. Like
Yeah.
so, I don't think it's an exclusive, but like at the end of the day, it's there.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
that's
I
cool.
picked up one for E, so because he was looking for it. He canceled his pre-order with Hasbro, I think.
Nice.
What else? And then for myself, not really. Like I've gotten in the Mezco has been having a little, I guess, splurge of pre-orders releasing. So the last couple weeks they've been coming in strong. The Catwoman, I don't know, the Harley Quinn,
The Batman.
John Wick, and I forgot there was another Batman. Yeah.
Nice.
How many fucking Batmans? But
Yeah.
so I've been enjoying those, and
Keep
that's
buying
about it. Like, yeah.
I mean, it's true, right?
I'm on
You can't-
auto.
Yeah, you can't be
I'm
mad
on
at
auto.
them. Nice.
They're
Alright.
pretty good. They're pretty good. I'm invested in Mesco stock. So buy.
Brian, how about you? How was your weekend?
I didn't go tubing. I didn't have an anniversary. I just worked and walked, and that's it.
Okay. I was going to ask you if you were able to get outside at all.
Yeah, I try to get outside. I need to do something because I think this thing's starting to really take a toll on me health-wise. So, I need to do something, change it up,
Oh, we lose Dom.
and then Dom's gone. So Dom left, I think, because he couldn't hear me because I was trying to ask him questions at the beginning of his turn, and he didn't hear me. That's why I asked you guys in the chat if you could hear me. And then I was thinking to myself, I was like, wow. So when I entered this room a while back, and like Dave said, hi, Brian, and I said, hi, Dave, back, I wonder if he never heard me.
I heard you.
Yeah.
I would have went like this if you did.
Right, exactly.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you, Brian. So I had
Yeah,
to bounce
I
out
didn't
back
think
in Ransom.
Dom, quick question for you. How does a hot dog man get on an island in the middle of a river?
He's on a barge. It looks
Oh.
like there's river boats that they use to kind of, they swim it up. They drive up and down the river, and I'm assuming that they barged it in. It's like it's literally on a barge. There's a couple tents on a barge with a barbecue and
He had a
so
little
couple coolers.
little blue elephant dude playing keyboard.
They had some music playing. I don't think it was an elephant, but
But I mean, how good are these hot dogs though?
they're not so good. Like it's
It's just
included
that's
in
all
the
there
price
is,
of
right?
a mission. Yeah. So you're in the middle of the river. They try to jack up the price. I think it's like I think it was like $65 per person, which includes like a standard size tube, like an adult size tube, and basically in that price you get a lunch, which includes two hot dogs, a drink, and a candy bar. So, or you can have a hamburger, a drink, and a candy bar, or you kind of give your varieties. But if you want to upgrade to the veggie burger, Gary, it's a $3 extra. So just want to let you know.
No, I eat,
or chicken breast sandwich.
right.
Actually,
I eat my
do
meat.
Serve chicken
Don't
breast
worry.
sandwiches. So.
Well, I mean, if the food's no good and it goes right through you, good news, because
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you're right on the river. You're right on the
Goes
river.
right
Just-
there.
Yep.
And
That's-
they allow you like it's funny. Some families had
just pass my leg.
yeah.
Duty! But they allow you to bring coolers. Like they check the coolers. So, but there's clever way to get alcohol. I'm assuming past their so hard security that they have there, which is
Right.
a guy in the parking lot just walking around and asking to let me look in your cooler. But they allow coolers, and some families actually brought coolers, and they ended up stopping at any of the islands. Like there's little islands off the river or riverside, and then you can stop at any of those islands and just have lunch, sit down, camp out, have lunch with your
Nice,
family if
okay.
you wanted to. So it's pretty cool. They also have boats and rafts, kayaks, and all that stuff. So, but thank
Well,
you, Brian.
Brian-
I'm sorry to.
No.
Well, no, I asked you.
Yeah.
I know.
So, Brian, you shared a huge haul yesterday on ETR. Did you open anything? Anything stick out to you? Or just you've been too
No.
busy?
Yeah. I don't even
Hey,
have
Brian.
a place to put this stuff. It's I started 2 weekends ago. I tried to write up a diagram of how I want to do my MCU stuff, and I can't deal with it. I'm gonna have to do it in person, live, putting it on the shelf.
Ad hoc.
Yeah. So
Well,
yeah, no, I
we
haven't
can-
opened anything.
We can all expect messages from Brian. Hey, do you need this? Does anybody need this?
Yeah, JD, I'm waiting to hear back from you on a John Wick.
Oh,
You need that.
well, yeah, of course.
All right.
The
I gotta, yeah.
yeah, I think your Grayskull's starting to get covered there by the
Yeah.
figure art stuff, right?
Yep, and the new Mega Construct stuff should be dropping soon. Here it's starting to show up places.
There's a posse forming outside the castle.
Right, exactly.
Get the archers. Get the high oil now.
It's based on the size discrepancy. It's almost like that anime Attack on Titan. You know, the figure arts are so much bigger than the Motu guys. Be a lot of crying around there soon.
It has
You
been
make
an expensive weekend, though. I'll tell you that. My brother and his wife are having a child, and their
Ooh.
baby shower's next month. And this weekend was like the day I was like, all right, let me go see what's going on with this invite and the registry, right? So I ended up buying some diaper pails and some stuffed animals and all kinds of stuff for them, and I try to treat my siblings well. I spend a lot of money on them. They all make more money than me, but maybe someday it'll turn around someday. And no, they're great. They're great kids. Let's see here. One Mr. Crashbox dropped his pre-order, but I haven't gone in on that yet. I have some time.
The third wall.
Yeah, set 3 and
Set 3.
yeah, and of course there's other things as well. And God man, I'm biting my lip every time I go. I happen to search for Lego Harry Potter on eBay, and they just send you emails every other day. Hey, have you seen this? Hey, have you seen that? I'm like, stop. I was just curious to see what was the. Stop sending me email. And it's like, so then when it comes in, I'm like, well, it's cheaper here. If I buy it here, I'm actually saving money because it's cheaper there.
Yeah, it's
like-
good. It's good old
was like
fashioned
when I-
economics.
Yeah, it was like when I worked at Circuit City and you had your employee discount. I'm like, every purchase I make saves me money.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'd be a it's like Homer said. I'd be a fool not to buy it.
Right. I had a quick question for you guys. So, in the past few weeks, I have watched the entire Harry Potter series, and I have also finished The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. And
Look at you, sci-fi guy.
I wanted to ask you guys how you feel after you complete a series like that. Like, I find myself like, oh, there's no more.
I'm the same way.
And I'm like,
so you're
want
wanting more, Brian? You feel like
well,
you
the
want
thing
more?
was, the nice thing about it is you know what you're watching next. You always know
Right.
what you're watching
The
next.
truth.
And
Yes.
and then when it's done, you're like, I don't know what to do with myself.
Yep.
And you're like, I want more. Should I go do them all again? It's like, I don't know.
Right.
So then the nice thing about it is YouTube. You've got all these people with like theories on this and background things that happened on set, or stuff from books that you never read. So I've been hooked on like these Middle Earth YouTube channels now, and believe it or not, they're actually, some of them have been putting out recent content, and it's like, here's what Sauron was doing before The Hobbit, and stuff like that. I'm like, oh sweet, all right, cool. But the thing is, some of these guys, man, got some thick accents, dude, and I'm just like, I cannot listen to this guy talk. I don't care how interesting the subject matter is. I don't know. I don't know how you guys felt about that, but it's
Cranky.
It's that's one of the downsides to binging stuff sometimes, I think.
Yeah, like I watched a lot of those Harry Potter ones. It actually motivated me to watch the whole series again when I watched several of them, because they kind of give you like a what you missed or what could you missed, and basically give you kind of a rundown of how things were connected through the beginning to the end. And it was just got my my interest in watching them all over again, so I can spot those sequences in the movies and see how they all relate to each other.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I like the idea, Brian, of like not having to think about what's next, right? It's kind of just one of those things where, hey, I'm just gonna, whatever I turn the TV on, I'm gonna go to the next episode and continue that on. I think I just rewatched several weeks ago the whole True Blood series. I'd seen it before, but it was entertaining. But when it was done, I'm like, oh, well, I got to figure something else out. But for me, I think sometimes it's going to sound lame when I say it out loud. I should probably choose my words very deliberately. But some series like strike kind of an emotional chord with you, and I have to be in the right mindset if I want to start it again. I don't know if that makes sense or not. So, you'll laugh at this when I say it, but I love like the last Avatar, the Airbender, the Nickelodeon show.
Oh yeah.
I freaking love it. And then when Legend of Korra came out, right, and it kind of picked up later on, and kind of you learn more about what happened.
Yeah, they go back.
Yeah, the family relationships and the uncle, and just like if I had kids, I would make them watch that, because I think it does teach some really great lessons without being preachy. But so I just started that series actually. I think Sunday night I started watching it again.
Korra, you're watching.
No, I went all the way back to Avatar season 1.
Wow.
The boy in the ice, and just started fresh with it again. So
Marissa's been watching Korra.
Yeah, Korra's a good one.
Yeah, it is good.
Like it picks up, but you have to get through the first half of season 1, and when you get to like where they go back in time and she meets the first Avatar, and how the relationship between the good spirit and the bad spirit, and their battles over the centuries and centuries, and then it gets really good after that. Season 3 was my favorite, which they really dive into her and her character and stuff like that. But Blue Spirit's my favorite, dude. Sorry, that's my favorite episode ever. But it's a good show. If nobody ever watched it, it's a really good show. Avatar: Last Airbender. Yep. My nieces got me into it because I was like sitting watching it. They're watching it in Nickelodeon back in the day, and it's like I'm watching this cartoon, sitting down with them, and I'm like, wow, this is a pretty good freaking cartoon. And then I think I got like they were in the first season. They were like into like episode 4 or 5 or something like that, and I was like, went back to watch the first couple episodes, and I was like, wow, this is really good. And it became like a thing with me and my nieces, and just watching it with them every week when a new episode came out. So
nice,
Concur, Gary. I concur.
Dave, how about you? What was your weekend like?
Oh boy.
Uh,
To bring everybody down, but I have some I got a water bill, and my water bill was probably, I don't know, 6 times what it normally is.
Really?
Wow.
That's
So-
weird.
Jeez.
Yeah, so
You
Stop
got
blaming
a
me on
father-in-law
water.
was exactly. My father-in-law was a plumber, so we had to check for leaks, and he thinks it was probably one of the sprinklers from the sprinkler system
Oh,
because my crawl space has a lot of moisture in it right now in that section, and the drywall that I have there is moist. So right now, we had to open up the hatchet to leave, to have it to dry out a bit, and we turned off the main to see if that's what it was. Still don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure it is. So we gotta either get that fixed or just not put the sprinklers on for the rest of the summer. But to have
You
a
have a nice yard, though.
yeah, he does.
$500 fucking water bill. Like,
Just send the bill to Mother Nature. Just say, hey, Mother Nature, you need to fucking pay this. You've been drinking my water.
$497. Like, come on. I was like, and last month was only $99.
It's like you filled up a pool.
At $99,
Right,
a lot.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
cool.
Yeah, 99 is a lot. Mine's like
Yeah.
30 something. Of course,
Yeah,
it's
well-
just me. I don't know.
Right. Here there's 3 of us, and we, once in a while fill up the my daughter's little pool, which isn't that big, and we run the sprinklers for the front and the back of the house. But we got that bill. I called them. I was like, look, you guys got to send somebody here because your meter's all fucked up. They're like, before you do that, you gotta have, hire a plumber or have somebody come in, see if you have a leak. So I did that. We'll see what
That
happens.
sucks.
But, yeah, it sucks, but we'll see. Hopefully, it's not much more than that. You know what I mean? There's no more damage or anything, but I'll find out this weekend. Aside from that, what else? Spending some time here. I'm not doing anything special, anything different than I was doing a month ago. Still customizing stuff, to keep me busy. Messing around the room, moving things around here and there. That's pretty much it.
Did you get the TV mounted yet? You're
No,
talking about?
I gotta
Okay.
have my dad here, and
Yeah, that's not.
I
That's,
had the opportunity to last week, and I chose not to. So I'll probably do it this week.
that's cool. Yeah, it's definitely not a one man job for sure.
Yeah. Thing is, I can't do it with the wife either, because
Yeah, no, I got you.
yeah, she, I can't hold it.
You're right.
You told me to hold it this way, Dave.
It's funny though. We just had that situation because the cellar door is. We had to makeshift it when we moved here. They didn't have one. They had like a piece of like plywood covering it, and lazy us. We said, all right, we'll deal with it. We makeshifted one, like our dad's made one, with hinges and everything. It's a real door, but we cover it with tarp because the size of that is abnormal. So we would have to get it customized.
Mm.
And to get a customized piece, believe it or not, a hatch is like fucking $700-800.
Wow.
And we were just like prolonging it, and then
Like a Bilco?
Huh?
Like a Bilco door.
I guess I don't know. Big
Like
steel
the-
door. Yeah, the big. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
One of those.
Well,
It-
yeah, they can be pretty expensive.
I mean, mine would have to be customized too because of the size of it.
It's not
Like,
a
it's
standard
pretty.
size.
It's not a standard size. So I looked into that, a few years back, but lazy us, we didn't do it.
I thought when you were saying you upgraded it, Dave, just to slap some paint on it or something. Slap some paint on it.
That shit don't
That's all
work
we
for
did.
everything. I wish.
Right.
But Gary, you've been asking everybody if they picked anything up that excited them.
Yeah. Did you get anything?
I got something weird. I mean, you guys have been collecting the Origin Motu stuff, and I just got the Motu bug kind of, so I had to pick something up.
Mm.
So my friend was selling a bunch of the classic shit in the group the other day, so I hit him up, and I always wanted this guy. You guys are gonna laugh at me, but I always wanted a Grizzlor.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Dude.
he's
So
awesome.
I was just
He's
like,
great.
yo, dude, this looks like me in the morning, with my hands all fucking up and shit. And I'm like, yeah, that's my guy right there. So he's cool, and Legions just came out with their homage to Hordak. I didn't pick it up,
Yeah.
unfortunately. I was like, you know what, I'll wait, even though now I'm gonna be waiting to the end of
Right.
October, it seems. But
Yeah.
I just felt like he would be cool to be.
Yeah, that's cool. I always liked how his weapons all store on his back.
Yeah, that was it too.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
he
pretty
had
cool.
everything all
Mhm.
together. I even put extra weapons on there just to be a douche. But
And
I always miss these sales. It's
That,
very
unfortunate. That Classics headset that has like 5 different heads, kind of for the 2000X, makes an alternate head for him, Dave. Pretty awesome. That looks good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's like the packet has like a clawful head, a buzz
Yeah,
off
the
head,
buzz-off
right?
head,
A Roboto
yeah.
head,
Mhm.
and the Grizzler head in there. You might be able to find it loose on eBay pretty cheap,
Mhm.
and it actually makes them look kind of different too. You can swap it
Oh,
around.
cool. I'll check it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
This one's cool for now. He kind of has that vampire vibe
Hmm.
Mhm.
to him with the fangs, so he'll
Yeah.
go with my vampires for now.
I like how you
Nice.
pull
Yeah,
him.
that's what I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
from his
It's like,
hair.
Open him up by the top of his hair.
Motherfucker. See you later.
Yeah,
mental
he's
note:
pretty rad,
don't get Dave another pet. That's that little, right, little hamster. It's like, see.
Yeah.
Nice.
How about you, Gary?
Thanks, JD. I was like, wait, this is the other way around. No. So the weekend was interesting. I worked on Saturday. I gotta say, Sunday was just kind of a day to hang out with the wife. And I don't know, when did Jersey Shore come out? Like about 10 years ago, right?
Yeah,
the
at
first season, right? Right around
or
there.
more.
Those Jersey kids, man, the whole GTL, I gotta tell you, it's a good feeling that day. So like I had all my laundry caught up, right? I had all my laundry done, and I had all my stuff ironed for work, right? So I was like, okay, so that felt nice. The gym was done, got that out of the way earlier in the day, and then before the storms came through, which happen now every day here in Florida, we got some pool time. Just went and hung out outside a little bit, so that was good. It was nice. I was very thankful, thinking good thoughts for anyone in the realm that lives kind of in that Louisiana, Texas area, because there were 2 hurricanes coming and they've kind of moved west of us, so I didn't have to really stress and prep too much for that. So that part was good. And then Sunday, she put on a classic movie that I know Dave likes, which was The Neverending Story, right? And so we were kind of watching it, right? I was doing some other stuff and it's in the background. You guys have all seen it, correct? I'm sure, right? Everybody in this age, right?
Yes.
I would hope
All right.
so.
This weekend.
So my wife literally went into tears in the scene where Artax, right, dies in the swamp.
Oh.
Yeah, see, thank you. So then Dave, she posts something on Facebook about, one of those, hey, this is one of the saddest movie moments ever, right? Changed my mind. And Dave sends her this image there of these planters. And just like ruined her. She's just like, why? What's wrong with you? So,
It just so happened that I saw
It's
it
funny.
like minutes before she posted that. I was like, oh shit. I went
Yeah,
back.
dude,
and
that's
I
so
did
funny.
post it.
But sure enough, like, she's seen that movie a million times. She knows it by line, and she's like got tears in her eyes when I'm like, he doesn't really die, and he comes back. You know what I mean?
Oh, at
you
the
know-
end when he
Yeah,
died?
right. Yeah, he's like when he's making all the wishes, right? So that was, I don't know, that was pretty cool. It's kind of something we tend to do on Sunday sometimes. Most of the time, she humors me with my selection.
Dude, that music gets really
So-
deep in that scene too. Like it
Yeah,
gets
yeah,
very
it's like-
silent and eerie, and it's like, oh god.
So
Dude,
Yo,
that Gamork still scares me to this
Mhm.
day.
what the wolf, right?
the wolf, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That's,
Nothing servant.
And I think since that movie was all about reading, right? It was definitely one of those ones when you're somewhat in our age group, you watched it a lot in school many times also because it was
I hear the music playing in my head.
yeah.
Music at the end right now.
Exactly, yeah.
When
Sure.
when he's just flying on Valcor and going
Yep.
through seeing everybody, it's playing in my head right now. It's funny you mentioned that though, with the sad moments in the movies. This weekend, I watched a movie with my daughter. 2 movies. One was The Good Dinosaur, and the other one had something to do with dinosaurs in it too, but I don't remember the name.
The Land
This
Before
one-
Time.
No,
Okay.
it was basically was a dinosaur egg who gets raised by like these lemurs, and then all of a sudden finds that this is like the end of the world for the dinosaurs, right? So now meteors are hitting, shit's burning down, people are fucking, things are dying, and then he finds basically like his own kind. He wasn't raised with his own kind. He was raised with these fucking lemur monkeys, right? So now he has like a few of these lemur monkeys, and he's going through meeting a herd of different kinds of, brontosaurus, triceratops, all these different kind of dinosaurs. And it's just like, this is for kids. Like, it's so raw. Like, it was like they were going to the nesting ground because everything else was destroyed. And now they got like the old dinosaurs chilling in the back. So these old dinosaurs are chilling in the back, and they're just like can't make it to keep up with the rest of them. So this dude, not growing up with the rest of the dinosaurs, is like, oh, we gotta help them. You know what I'm saying? And the leader of the herd was like, nah, leave them there. That's what we do. The old die and the young, the weak die.
Jesus,
and like,
it's harsh.
Yeah, they were getting chased originally by like a herd of like these little, not velociraptors, but little something smaller. And they weren't compysauruses, but something similar to that. And then all of a sudden, these T-Rex looking animals, I forget what the name of them, Carnosaurus maybe, with the horns. You know what I'm talking about, Gary?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they're fucking just killing people. And like, my kid is asking all these questions, and she's like, what happened to that one? And I was like, they ate him. Like, he's gone, And my wife is like, good. It's good that she learns this. I was like, no, it's
That's
not.
right.
I was
Yeah,
like,
it is.
yo, Land Before Time, you saw Littlefoot's fucking
Right.
parent die,
Yeah.
and it was a wrap. But this was like times 10. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you see like them eating flesh and shit. You know what I mean?
Jeez.
I get
Like
the name of it.
vicious.
I'll let you know what it is, but I forgot what it is.
Yeah, they introduced death a lot in very young cartoons.
Look at Frozen
really-
now.
Yeah, Frozen. Yeah.
The parents die in the first 5 minutes.
You wanna
Spoiler,
kill this
you know,
dog?
86 Transformers movie.
Yeah.
Optimus!
What
Yeah.
Up? What about Up?
Fuck you, Hot Rod!
You ever read the like comments? Not comments, but like what's the theories on Up?
I
Gary?
haven't seen that.
Oh, wait, maybe. I know there's like a lot of like crossover. There's like just
He was dead the whole time or something.
yeah, I've seen some
Yeah.
of that. That's like the
There's a lot of that stuff. That's
and the
great.
colors change and certain things like
Mm-hmm.
and his wife's are all like soft edges. All the pictures of her and like his stuff is all super square. Yeah, it's interesting, but interesting. All right. Well, I've got a few questions, but I thought first, since we've had so much discussion around and Dave just left. Great, riveting. No, I figure we can do just a quick round robin. You don't have to tell us how many, but maybe JD, we'll start with you. Did you end up backing the Sentinel project?
Nope.
What?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
So JD's a no. All right.
Did they extend it yet?
I don't think so. I think it ended
No, buddy,
yesterday
that's it.
at
That's
20,000 plus. So
Yeah.
there'll be no shortage. But Dave, how
No
about you?
extension.
I almost did yesterday. I got on the website and everything just because I was like, you know what, just get one. I was like, you know what, nah, fuck that. You don't need it.
Okay. So let me back up for 1 second. JD, are you in for the HasLab Unicron? I can't remember. I couldn't remember. No. Okay. So you're good on that one. Dave, how about you for the Unicron? You didn't do that one either. All right.
No.
All right. Brian, how about you? I know you got Unicron because you tell us about it like every other show, but
He got both. Look at his face. He got both.
I,
Yeah.
I did it like around
I did it. You feel so naughty.
okay.
10:30ish. Something. I was just like,
Oh, wait.
I was in there because I was tracking the numbers for the graph, and I was like,
Luring him and oh my god, the numbers are going up.
I was like,
No.
do you don't? I was like, just no, just don't. Fuck it, just do it.
All right.
And
So can I ask, like, did you go with more than one to use all those?
No,
Okay.
no.
All right.
I just went with one.
Okay.
I don't know, because you know what I said to myself. I said to myself, Brian, You're gonna end up watching that X-Men cartoon one day, and
Yep.
you're gonna look back on this day. You're gonna look back on this day and be like, "You fucking should have did it."
Yeah, that's not a bad thought process, right? You're just being safe, right? You're just being. I get it. All right, Dom. So,
How many did you get?
did you back?
Listen, like, you know, yeah, I went in, of course. There's no question about that. But I only went 2. I only went 2
All right.
because
You
I
sure?
was like, you know what, one of these guys are gonna come back and just say, "Hey, Tom, do you have an extra one?"
Right.
So,
Yeah, I know
Probably
that's
me.
true.
I got
Probably
2. And,
That's crazy.
Yeah, JD. I was thinking about you
And
or
then-
Dave. And
Dom, do you
so,
have a?
I know. Sorry, go Dave.
No, I was going to ask you. And do you also have Unicron on deck?
Yes, I
Okay.
have you.
You did a Unicron? Okay, no, I was just curious. I was like,
Yeah, I did. I also did a Unicron, and I also did the Cookie Monster, but it just didn't get to me.
That's cool. You know, that would have been cool to see. I would have.
Dom was one of 3 for Cookie. Okay,
Yeah,
that's cool.
I was the third one.
Well,
Gary,
In all
Gary,
fairness, I thought there was another week of that left, but
Yeah.
I don't know
Listen,
why.
JD, I'm gonna fucking set up an alarm for your ass.
dude, I know Brian has been telling you, it's like counting down. Like,
Gary, they
Yeah,
did
but like,
almost 5,000 on the last day.
yeah, no, I
Yeah,
figure
yeah,
it's a.
yeah.
So I backed 1 as well. I was kind of on the fence, and I put it in the chat. And this is how we all have like weird ways about how we justify the spending, maybe. But I was in the process of paying a credit card bill, and I was like, well, I can like basically like order this on this credit card and just pay it off like all right now, right, as I was paying it, and then it's basically paid for the year. So that was my rationale. So I don't know. I did it. So I've got 1 also. So, and no Unicron. I did not back that one. So
Well,
it's my first HasLab.
Someone very close to all of us that we know very, very, very much actually bought all 5. Went through the full 5 allotment. So I was very impressed when he sent me the message.
Who did
and I was
that?
like, I'll let the if he's in the chat, I'll let him divulge if he wants. But I'm not gonna put him out there.
Yeah.
But I was very impressed when he sent me the message, and I was like, it was like a. I was
He's
like,
gonna
fine.
he's gonna send me one for my birthday. He said.
Dude, I
So-
cannot believe there's 22,500 of these things being made.
Yeah, that's like I can. You think they're gonna make it all like release them all at the same time, or they're gonna do in waves? Like here's the first 10,000.
Oh, you think? Yeah, maybe.
Like I can imagine because all the other ones don't even come
Well,
close to
You
that.
didn't see Jim
Yeah,
Bow's?
they give-
Jim Bow's coming out with one for like $50.
It's like, well,
They
that's
have the
exciting.
capabilities of producing them. You know what I mean? It's not like a Super 7 situation where they can only
Right.
fit so many in the factory at one time.
Yeah.
You know, like Snake Mountain. You know what I mean? That was my.
Yeah.
example. They can only fit 72 of those in the factory at one time.
You ordered that one, Jay?
No,
You know you could make a better one, right?
I mean probably.
Yeah. So,
It's a lot of work.
so what?
I could probably make a better
Save a lot
Castle
of money.
Grayskull too, but like,
Yeah, he's got. Did you hear him earlier? He's booked out to
I'm-
November with like his primary
dude.
job. Well, cool. So we've had a lot of discussion, I think, the last few weeks about current modern stuff, right? Pre-orders coming in, exclusives, being sold online of like recent items, right? In lines, and some of them having a retro feel. So it kind of got me thinking just a little bit. And so I'm going to propose kind of a little bit of another round robin of maybe some questions here. And I think it's safe to say, now, Brian, I know you admit and you encourage, right? Some of your toys require swooshing around the house, right? That's how you get the most enjoyment out of some of them when you actually play with them that way, right?
Oh, yeah, you got to swoosh.
Yeah, right. So who do you swoosh or swoosh?
I'm sorry. Example.
Nope, that works, right? Was it like your fans' toys, like Phoenix? Is that who it was?
Phoenix got swooshed a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
you got to take advantage. I mean, you don't
Yeah.
you don't put him in alt mode very often, so you
Right.
got to take advantage.
So, and
I have a lot of stairs in my house too. It's an open design.
I see that was
So-
where I was going to go, Brian. I can imagine you running down the stairs.
Right,
Going,
so he's
Yeah, it's
But
very
as a whole, right? Most of the time, we don't really play with our figures anymore, right? You don't play with your toys as much as you used to. Posing is good. Taking photos is great. Some customizing, right? Dios. It's a different technique, right? It's evolved. So what I thought maybe we could do be a little different, and we can get the chat involved in this. Is let's go through some retro lines that you may or may not owned as a kid. Don't feel obligated like if you didn't have it, because not everybody had everything. But I'm kind of curious, like with each of these lines, what was your main like character, the main figure or the main vehicle that was like either your favorite or, if it wasn't your favorite, what was one that you played with the most? And maybe it was the one that you had, right? And you didn't have something that you would have liked. Or maybe you had a friend who had that, that series, and you always played one character. So, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you always had that kid who's like, I always have to be Snake Eyes, right? When I play G.I. Joes. So I can't be anybody else, or I always have to be this character.
I was always Ken. I was never Barbie. I was always Ken.
You beat me to that one, right? God. All right. Those of us who had
Did
sisters,
you have to
right?
play with that with your sister? That time?
If you it used to be my sister and my younger cousin, because my older brother and my older cousin used to hang out, and then when they got tired of me, they kicked me out of the room, and I would have to go play with my sister and my younger cousin, and they would always be playing Barbie, and I would come and be Ken and play in the pool and go in the Cadillac and.
Jeez. Well, and just like that, Dom tangented us, right? Like,
Yes,
off
sir.
to the side.
Yep.
So, does that make sense? So, I figure we can kind of just, we'll go around. And Dave, you're in the upper left of at least what my screen looks like. So, we can start there. So, we'll start off with My Little Pony. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do My Little Ponies. But so I got some notes, so I'll just kind of go through. We'll hit, I tried to not hit all the major ones and get some different stuff, but we'll get there. So the first one I wrote down was Mask. So did you have any Mask, and did you play with any of those? Or
I
did
didn't
you
have it.
character?
My older cousin had some Mask figures, and I used to like them because they reminded me of G.I. Joe in a sense.
Okay.
So I used to play with them from time to time. They were cool, but I don't think I ever owned any of them.
Gotcha.
I think, I don't think I ever owned them. They were fun to play with, but that's all I remember for them.
Okay. All right. Brian, how about you?
All right, and the
Yes.
question is, you're telling me the toy line, and I tell you my favorite toy.
Yeah, that you actually owned or played with, or which character did you always kind of have to be as a kid, right? If that was such one for that, yeah.
Gotcha. So, for Mask, I was a big fan of I think it was the Raven, the black Corvette.
Yes, yeah, yep. With the buzzsaws that shot out the front, because it kind of looked like Kit, right?
It was exactly, and it was the best of both worlds because it could roll and fly.
Okay.
Did you
yeah.
own that one, Brian? Did you have that one?
Yeah, it's right
as a
down
kid?
there
Wow.
somewhere.
Oh wow.
Still got
And what was the driver's name?
it.
Wasn't that
I wanna
Jacques?
say
Jacques
Ray?
Lafleur?
Was it Jacques Lafleur?
I think so. I have to. I
It
should
was like
should-
Zach or something like that.
Maybe I'm off.
Cody.
I'm off. Okay.
Um,
So Brian was in for the Raven. Okay.
yeah. And the Gator was a close second.
Yeah, I didn't.
Which one is the Gator?
The Wrangler, the Jeep
Ah,
that
yeah,
opened
yeah.
up and the boat shot out of it.
Yeah.
All right. JD, how about you? Did you have any mask?
Yes, I had lots of Mask. Sorry, I was like trying to write that down. So my first one was Brad Turner with the Condor,
Yes.
Oh,
the
Okay.
green motorcycle. That was my first one, and then my second one was the Corvette.
Well, another Raven fan. Interesting.
Mhm.
Okay.
I did have what was the Bronco? I had that too.
The Jackhammer. Yep.
Jackhammer.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was a good toy.
Yeah, I was trying to
Okay.
look all these up real quick.
Yeah, my friend had that one. Dude, it's that Condor, that had the best spinning helicopter blade
Yep.
ever. Like, you could just, and that
Yeah, it
thing would
works.
spin for
Yeah.
5 minutes. I would love it. I
Yep.
love that thing.
Okay.
I still have them up there too. I have a bunch of them.
That's cool.
I've added to them, of course, but you know.
Dom, how about you?
I was actually introduced to Mask by one of my friends. I did not own any one until I was introduced, and then I think the only one I owned was Condor.
Okay.
My mom picked me up one from I think a Kmart or some department store, and then I enjoyed it. I loved it, and I remember I would always bring it with me to his house when he had all the other ones. Like he just had a bunch of them, and it wasn't my thing, but like, you know, when I saw that he had a few, I remember mentioning it to my mom. I think she got Condors were like all over the place. I think there was a time where they were in the checkout lane.
Yeah, it was definitely a good price leader. I think it was like a $7.99 toy back in the day, right around there.
So.
It's like, okay.
That I can remember because I remember it shoots up as a helicopter. And did it have skis? Like, didn't it have the skis that come out, or did it have skis? I don't know.
Well, when the blades popped up, it had landing gear with lasers
Yeah,
on
landing
it.
gear. Yeah.
And then the headlight had a laser that popped up too. All right. So Mask for me was one of those lines that I actually, you know, I didn't cherry pick. I had quite a few of the vehicles. I'd get them for like birthdays from family members and stuff, and I loved it because I liked the real cars. It was the orange GTO, which is always funny because even as a kid, I know they didn't make GTOs with T-tops, but it was a T-top toy with that punk rock guy. I think it was Bruno Shepard, maybe. That like had like the mohawk and like the chains on them and stuff like that, and turned into the tank.
You know, it was Bruno Shepard. Come on,
Yeah,
Barry.
yeah. It's funny how they come back to you, right, when you start thinking about it. And then I also my other favorite. I love the Thunderhawk because it was a IROC Camaro, but I also have no quips about saying I played with the purple 300ZX, the Manta with Vanessa from Venom, just
Dude.
because I love that car even as a
that-
kid.
Was that hard to find? By the way, Calhoun Burns drove the.
Oh yeah, what is Jacques? There is a Jacques, I think, character.
Jacques Cousteau.
Did he
No.
drive? Did he drive the race car like the?
Maybe he might have been in the racing team. Honestly. But all right, interesting. So Dave had nothing. Dom had a Condor. We got two for the Raven, and then one for the GTO. All right, so let's do one that might be a little bit more true to us, really quick. All right, Star Wars.
Well, it's gonna be an easy answer for me.
Okay, who's your
I
character?
I said it before.
Say it again.
I was born in 81. I didn't get into Star Wars till probably like 85, 86. So obviously the Ewok movies are out and the Ewok figures are out. So I had
Return of the
those.
Jedi.
So that's what kind of turned me on to Star Wars. So I believe I watched the Ewok movies, then Return of the Jedi,
Wow.
then
Yeah.
I watched them in reverse. And then I wound up like getting like leftover figures from like my cousins. So I remember having like the old school Boba Fett where like his legs, you all know what it looks like, but basically stiff toy, and it didn't have the missile in the back. I remember, and it was like all one solid color because it was all like rubbed away after a while, the colors. So it was like all gray almost. But the Ewoks for a long time, it took a while before those things got thrown away. But I tell you that those bring back such memories. I remember going to pick them up, like going to Toys R Us with my aunt and uncle because they were the ones who used to spoil me. Not that my parents didn't. It's just that when I was with them on the weekends, they used to always take me to the toy store. So we used to go pick out a new toy, and it was always either Ewok or a Care Bear. I was 5. You know what I'm saying? So, so Star Wars for me, it hasn't changed.
Okay.
Ewok's still fucking the thing that gives me a chubby, and it did when I was a kid. So.
Well, it's good to know that your roots run deep and
They
have
run
stayed
deep.
true, right?
Yep.
It's like- Brian, how about you?
Oh, I would. Man, that's tough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the Millennium Falcon for sure.
Hmm.
When I played, I was a Luke kid, not a Han Solo kid. A Luke and an R2-D2 kid, so those are always sort of the characters that I like to play with. Han Solo was still the Mac though. He was still going after Leia. I had Leia in her Bespin outfit, the burgundy. all my Star Wars toys were Empire and up.
Right.
I never had anything at the Star Wars level. So, I really like those speeder bikes, man, from Endor. I had
They
two of them,
break. Yeah.
Yeah,
and you
They
push
shatter,
that
blow
button
apart.
and they explode.
yeah,
That's
Yep.
great.
that's cool. Dom, how about you?
Star Wars is it's one of my number one toys that I got during my childhood.
Yeah, who was your favorite guy or girl that you played with?
I was a Han.
Han,
Han because my best
okay.
friend was a Luke. Like he loved Luke, and I was like, it's funny because I was the brown haired guy, and he was the blonde haired guy. So it kind of played to that part, and he was Luke, I was Han, and we didn't have a Chewie. I don't know who was Chewie, but it was mostly the Millennium Falcon, the vehicle
Falcon.
of my choice. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And I had an Imperial Walker that sat for many years on the side of my dresser, filled with whatever remaining toys I had left in the vault. You know, the chest cavity that we would stick all them in to clean our toys.
God.
And, you know, because when all the toys were on the floor, we would just cram them all in there. And there probably was some other action figures in there as well that made it into that cavity. So.
Okay.
But everything, yes, Han and the Millennium Falcon, I remember.
So 2 for the Falcon. That's cool. All right, JD, reveal for us.
All right. So I can't just pick one. So I like. If
No,
I
so here,
was
so here,
playing-
let me pose this. I'll pose a question, right?
Uh-huh.
So the 4 of us are coming over your house as 7-year-old kids,
Sure.
right, to play,
Sure.
and you're going to be generous and share your toys with us. But who do you not let us pick because that's who you're going to be?
Character
Yep.
would have been Jedi Luke.
Okay.
Jedi
Cool
Knight.
choice. All right. Nice.
Yep. He was always one of my favorites.
Did you say Jedi Luke? Is that what you
Yeah.
said?
Yeah.
Oh,
The black
back
outfit.
it up.
I'm gonna start paying
Yep.
attention here.
Yeah. Right. And then what vehicle was his platform of choice
So-
for you?
I either had a cloud car or an A-wing. A-wing's like my
okay.
favorite.
Cool.
Like out of all the ships, the
Sure.
A-wing's my
Wow.
favorite.
Dude, I didn't
Yep.
get an A-wing till Power of the Force rolled around. And I was
Yeah,
in
it
high
makes
school.
2 of us, Brian. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. That's
Yeah, when
cool.
those came out, I think I have like 6 or 7 of them up there.
Jeez,
Power of the Force ones.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, interesting. So 2 Falcons and then an A-wing, right? We'll say that. And then Dave liked the trees for the village.
No, I didn't say that.
I'm just kidding. I was like,
I just like trees, period.
right, no. So I had very few Star Wars like you, Brian. Like the few I had were all Empire. And then I did get the Jabba playset from Jedi. And for whatever reason, like the Luke I had was like Hoth, and the Han Solo I had was Hoth. I did have a Falcon, and then the only other ship I got, and I hate to admit it, but I loved this thing as a kid, which really says a lot about me. Maybe I don't know why, but
Sky
that
City vehicle.
no, that Rebel transport that was actually just a big
Yeah.
case, that big
Oh,
oval,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And look, I don't know what it was. It was like, it had the covers like for the, it didn't have any windows, right? So you took the solid cover off for the front pilots, and then it had those guns in the back that you could pop that back piece off, and it just held so much stuff. And I don't know, I just thought it was kind of a cool toy, like, and that was the one that I wanted. So I'd play with that a lot. And then I had a Chewbacca, and for whatever reason, he wasn't one of my favorite characters in movies, but it was a character I liked to play with a lot. So that he was always flying that thing around. Yeah. Even though I had a Falcon. So
Yeah, that troop transport. I had one of those, but that was basically that's how you put your toys away. Just
Yeah.
turn that thing
Yeah.
up,
Right,
throw them right
exactly.
in there, put the cap
Yes, sir.
on, and
But if you remember, it came with like a bunch of gas masks and backpacks. It came with like all these
Oh, is that-
accessories.
because I had those and I
Yeah.
never knew where they came from.
They came in that set. Yeah, it came with like four of these, like the Minoc masks. And
Oh.
little quick side story was my Falcon. The way our steps kind of worked in the house I grew up in, kind of like wrapped around like the bottom 2 steps, right when you came downstairs
yeah.
into the living room. So that was my Transformers arc believe it or not. Even though they didn't fit inside, I would like prop it on its side, right, and then just open the door on the bottom that popped out, and that was just kind of what I used in the background when I play with the Transformers there. And I would just pretend that was their crash ship in the mountain, just because the turbines in the back. So
I used to turn a mattress on the side, like a mattress, and do toss it against the wall, so it would be like a triangle. And I used to put them all under there.
See, that works. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's literally tearing his bedroom apart.
Right.
Of course. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I always think about whenever I see a Crown Royal bag, I always think about my Star Wars figures because that's how I toted them around as a kid.
Royal
Yeah.
bag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The velvet
Alright.
bag, the purple
Yep.
velvet bag, Brian.
Yep.
What a pimp! You were
Dude,
a
I'd bring
pimp,
that into
Brian.
church.
Yeah.
That had all my Star Wars figures in it.
So we'll do one or two more lines. I got a list. I'll try and think of one more common, maybe one more that's a little more obscure, just to see. So since it's so popular, not to be salty for people, but let's do Joe's, right? So JD, we'll start with you. So who is your GI Joe or Cobra go-to person?
See, I couldn't decide here.
Uh-oh.
Like, I'd have a pile. I would. Of course, the most common answer I would say is going to be Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. But I also loved Dial Tone and the Dreadnoughts.
Okay.
Like any of the Dreadnoughts that I had.
What was your vehicle choice? No matter who you're playing with.
All right, so Cobra, it would have been the Fang.
Okay.
And then if it was Joe's, it was either the Havoc, which I didn't have one, or it would be Snowcat. I did have the Snowcat, though.
That's cool. Yeah, Snowcat was a good one. That's a
Yeah.
great toy. All right. Dave, reveal something about yourself.
Okay. GI Joes. All right. So,
Zorana.
all right. No. So when they had came out, like when the movie had come out, and they came out with like the new characters, for some reason I took a liking to Tunnel Rat. I don't know if because he was short.
Oh,
like, Puerto
yeah.
Rican. I don't think he was even Puerto Rican. He might have been Asian or something.
He
I don't
was-
remember. But
He was just from New York.
yeah, it was just something about him, Tunnel Rat, and I was just like, that's my guy. But before that was always Flint. I never liked Duke. So like when I watched them, even as a kid, when I watched the movie, I'm like, finally he's gone. And
Yeah.
like Flint was kind of like the one like showing the new guys the ropes, right? Back at he was like one of the survivors and like showing the new guys the ropes. I
Right.
think in the movie. So Flint was my guy.
Okay.
And vehicle wise, it's funny because it's the same vehicle as Beachcomber. What's that vehicle called?
The
The-
All-Striker.
With
All-weather.
the one with the machine gun on the top.
The Doom Buggy. Yeah.
Doom buggy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
was shit.
all-weather and environment.
They had the little pegs on the side. You could
Yep.
put people on the side. You could put people
Yep.
on top. You
Yep.
could put two inside. So that was my go-to, and it had like springs on it.
Suspension. Yes.
Yep.
I was about to- I'm
Yeah.
impressed. Look at
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yo, that was
Uh,
my shit growing up.
and
That and I had one of the boats, and it was like I forgot what it did, but I think it was. I know it was a boat, and I used to love it, and I can remember what it looks like. I just don't remember the name of it. Which
Was
one
it big or small?
No, it was about 15 inches.
Was it red?
Burgundy? Was it
Yeah.
red?
Yeah,
The hydrofoil?
red burgundy, Yeah.
No,
Mm.
it wasn't red.
Well, it wasn't the green hovercraft then, right? Because you'd know if you had a whale,
No.
right? That
Was
was
No.
it? Was it the manta?
Was it-
The moccasin? Water
Mock-
moccasin?
the
Yes,
Moccasin,
the water
that's
moccasin,
it,
yes,
that's
yeah.
it. Yes, and then I had this.
Comes with Copperhead.
Yep.
And this was my shit because my cousin used to come over and fucking. My older cousin used to come play with it all the time. And what's that one called?
Rolling
Isn't that the
Thunder.
General?
Rolling Thunder or some
Rolling.
shit?
Yeah, no, that's it.
Bro.
Yeah, it was Rolling Thunder.
That's Rolling Thunder, right? I had that,
Yeah.
and that was cool to have too.
Damn,
'cause
you're
I had the-
spoiled.
Oh yeah, I was spoiled. I had a lot of Joes.
Okay.
But you gotta remember my parents. So it's funny. My parents are 20 years my senior. So when I was 5, my dad was only 25.
Yeah.
So he used to play with my stuff, like believe it or not, especially the GI Joes. Like my dad was always down to play GI Joes with me, and I think it was because he took a liking. Like he used to just find them there in the corner playing with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, GI Joes was my shit
So
for a long time.
I'm noticing an interesting pattern here, but we'll finish this one up. So Brian, how about you?
So I was always a big fan of the wacky. I don't want to say wacky, but the guys that had a lot of weird accessories. Like there was like all the different kinds of vipers, right?
Mhm.
Like the alley viper was kind of cool. I never had a regular viper. I had this dude that had a backpack that had missiles, and he had like tubes that connected to. Like,
I know which
triggers
one you're talking about.
coming
Yeah, that was like those two.
out. But I would have to say one of the ones I always liked was Law, and he had the dog
Law.
order.
Yes, great
Yep.
choice. The MP.
Yeah, I got into Joe's late, so I didn't have a lot of the older characters. It was all later wave type of guys. But like the guys like Sci-Fi, like he was all green,
Mhm.
I think. And
Yep.
Yep. Oh, I remember him too.
The laser weapon for sure.
Yep. From a vehicle standpoint, some great ones mentioned. I'll mention a couple different ones, but the Thunder Machine from the Dreadnoks,
Yep.
I always liked, and
Mhm.
I had the whale, and I
Oh, yeah, that's
I
such a
love that damn thing, and it floated.
Yep.
And it was, dude.
that's such a
yeah,
cool
man.
toy.
And I love that you can just like again, you just take all your people and jam it on there, and it had all that little that motorcycle. I don't know what the hell
Yep.
that thing was for, and the depth charges. And
Did you
push the
break
button
your
and the things.
your rotors on your
No.
hydro? Okay,
my
good
my
for you.
rotors didn't break, but the
Super
four
fragile.
missile launcher things,
Yeah, I know.
they broke. And I remember as I got older, like the glue wouldn't hold it, right? Because the teeth broke off, and they'd have to clip on this like pole. And so I would like wake up early in the morning, and my dad was still sleeping, and we had a gas stove. So I would what I would try and do is I would put a paper clip over the flame, get it nice and hot, and then I'd put the broken piece on there, and I'd try to melt it, like weld
Oh,
it
wow.
back on.
Jesus.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's creative.
Mhm.
Good grief.
It never worked, but I tried it over and over and over. Yeah, that was always good. Oh, and my Cobra vehicle that I really liked was this snow vehicle. It had like had two cockpits that were like on the left
The
side
Wolf.
or right side.
Yep.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, they sat like tandem, like front
Yeah.
in like, almost like a fighter.
Yeah,
and it
and
had like treads
four-
and skis, right?
Yeah, and the four
Yep.
red missiles.
Yeah, the
in
Cobra
front.
Wolf. Yeah, that was a good. That was a fun
thing
toy.
was cool. Yeah.
All right, Dom. Share a
I-
little
I
bit
did-
about who'd you pick.
I actually didn't. I didn't own any Joes.
Okay.
I own a couple figures. I remember, but none of the vehicles or play sets. But part of my childhood was that my next door, one of my neighbors on my street. I remember because my mother would go, like when I came home from school, she was still at work, so we would go to his house, and his mother would watch us. And he was older. He was like my brother's age. And me and my brother would go there and stay there for a couple hours before my mom got home from work. And he had a military background. Like his father was a Marine, so he had every fucking joke you can imagine. So he had all the plays. So I remember just going there, like for the 2 hours that we were there, we would play Joes. And he had like the hovercraft was one of the ones that I enjoyed playing with all the time. He had like the play set with the Cobra, it was like a circle. It was like a Terradrome.
Yep.
So I always play with that. He had every and I think the only figure I ever bought was the flamethrower guy with the red and yellow kind of camouflage. I think it
Barbecue.
was.
Or,
Barbecue, yeah.
no.
Yeah.
A blowtorch.
Thank you.
Blowtorch?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. I was gonna say it wasn't
I
barbecue.
think that was the only figure I ever owned myself. I picked up like one of them, and I would carry. I remember I would bring it to school, and when I came over, I would play with it and bring it to the party, and we would play. He would have one. He had every character as well, so it was just amazing. Like eventually, it was like a corner of his family room. It would like basically all the toys would be stored away, and then we all pull them out and play with them. And then eventually, it grew so big, it became like in his basement where he had like sheets of plywood on these cross beams, and he would just set them up all there, and basically would have battles left and right with Chosen and Cobra vehicles and figures and stuff like that. So it was always fun.
That's cool.
miss him. He's a good friend. We still keep in touch. His mother still lives in the same house, and my parents still talk. Like my mother talks to his mother still, and
Yo, ask him if he still has those Joes.
Yeah.
I imagine he might have them. His name is John. John was
See if
the one
he'll
out.
let us come over and play with him.
Right.
Yeah, like, he had all of them. He had the flag. He had even the aircraft, like the spaceship shuttle thing. He had all of them, dude. Like you said, I think that's what it was, Dave. Like his father loved playing too, so like he bought them, and he was the military background, so he was like, he bought everything that Joe's wise his kids got. So there was 3 boys, so I can imagine it was a lot of like buying GI Joes, and they were all sharing, and whatever was out, that's what they gave the boys.
That's cool.
So it's pretty cool.
How about you, Gary?
Yeah, so part of this may surprise you guys, right? So I loved characters that had animal companions,
Of course.
but I have to be very careful because, right, it's 2020. So for a very Caucasian person to say this, someone may, want to yell at me for it. But I actually always played with Spirit, the Native American, and Freedom the Eagle, because I thought that was freaking awesome. So he was one of my favorites. And again, I only had a handful of characters myself. Vehicle-wise, I was old school. One was the original Green Vamp. I just really liked that one, and I liked the driver Clutch because he had a beard, which my dad had growing up. So it kind of just reminded me of my dad. My dad was in the army, so I kind of always thought that. But I just really liked that vehicle. And then the Dragonfly was always my other favorite. And I think I've shared this story before, but that was where, as a kid, I think I was like 7. When I bought it, it was missing one of the red safety rubber things that went on the blades, right? You push that little thumb on the thing. So we wrote a letter to Hasbro, and they sent me the replacement piece, and then like 3 figures and a whole bunch of weapons and stuff like that.
Wow, look at you.
But it was truly like, where my parents, were like, hey, we'll send a letter, and I waited, I don't know, probably like a month. But, even as a kid, I was like, behold the power, right, of the written word and what you can accomplish if you take the time sometimes to do that. So, but yeah, I always was playing with the eagle and the companion. So
You're not gonna get me to buy GI Joes, Gary.
It's like,
You're getting there,
right?
close, but no.
Okay, so I'm gonna do. I think we're a little more time left. Next one I thought I'd throw out there would be Thundercats, and I'll start off because I didn't own any 80s Thundercats toys. I would enjoy as a kid watching the cartoon, but I didn't have any of the figures. So. Brian, we'll start with you for that one because I think that property's something that you enjoyed.
So yeah, I was always Lion-O. My best friend as a kid was a black guy, so he liked Panthro. He didn't want to have anything to do with Lion-O. So it all kind of worked out.
There you go.
Yeah. Funny, when we would play Legos, my Lego character would be Lion-O and his would be Panthro. Kind of interesting. But anyway, I had a lot of Thundercats actually. I had all the good guys. The Wily Kit and Wily Cat were the guys on sticks, but we had the Thunder Tank as well, which was interesting because I don't know. It was a fun toy, right? I never got the treads to work on that damn thing ever.
They used to fuck up all the time.
We never even were able to get them on. It was just, I remember watching a video later in life, like maybe a couple years ago, where somebody has one and it works, and I was like, damn, how the fuck they'd figure that out? But anyway, I had Cat Slayer.
Nice.
Look at you.
Wow.
And yeah, dude, it was all. I loved the Thundercats, man. Loved them. But yeah, no, Lion-O was my guy for sure. I love the trigger action on the arms for the swords and all that other stuff.
Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, but his eyes used to light up, right?
Yep. You had
you used to have to do something with the claw.
Yeah, you had a ring, and the ring had a AAA battery in it, and you put it into this port on his back, and it would make his eyes light up.
It was like as long as your finger, dude. It was like this big red, obnoxious thing. It came to a point like a pencil, and you just touched it to his back.
It's funny. I just recently sold those things. Maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Who the hell knows
Yeah, I
how long
remember
it's
that.
been now? But I sold the whole set to someone at NJCC, another vendor there, and I was, dude. I had the ring things, and I was like, the night before, I was like trying to get all the oxidation off, trying to get them to work, and I was like, "Come on, work! Damn it! I want to see it light up before I sell it." It just didn't work. I was like, "Damn." Oh well.
Nice.
I
That's
remember
cool.
playing with those as a kid, and like Panthro's little nunchucks
Yeah.
were just as good as the Mattel when they redid them again.
Mhm.
Like recently, I remember playing with them as a kid and thinking they were the coolest fucking thing.
Yeah.
The little nunchucks on the little metal chain,
Yep.
because it was made well. It wasn't made cheaply.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
And Monkey's mace, I remember his Morning Star or whatever that thing that
Mhm.
was, dude. That thing, you could hurt somebody. Hit
Yep.
someone on the hand with that thing.
Yep.
So did you own any, Dave, or did you just play with
Oh
them?
yeah, I had them.
Yeah.
I had most. I had the Thunder Tank, just like Ryan said. He used to be able to pop it open, and he used to pop right out with the gun. Then my favorite, I guess my favorite. I want to say something different. Did any of you have Lino's sword when they came out with his sword?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
He
he's
used to be able-
the role playing sword.
The role playing sword, but it used
Yeah.
to like fucking thunder, fucking make the noises and fucking light up and all that.
Yeah, I don't remember
Yeah.
it making noises, but it did light up. I remember.
Yeah, that was. I remember having that and being all over the house with that thing.
Yep.
Thinking I was Lino, fucking Thundercats. I held on to my Thundercats for a long time. I think those were the last things I sold. Believe it or not, and I'm not sold. I mean, threw out or gave
Right,
away
yeah.
at the time. So maybe 14 years old is when I probably let those go. I just always thought they were kind of cool because you didn't really need to do much to them. Like
Mhm.
you could just put them there and they were fine.
Yep.
My cousin Jay he still avidly collects the classic Thundercats. He has some like obscure ones, like stuff that was kind of rare. Like you remember the what were those pirates' names? What were their names?
The
Yeah,
Berserkers.
the Berserkers.
Yeah, he has like Hammerhand or whatever his
Yep.
name was. He has like
I
he
have
has
a couple of
customs
them.
that were made. You guys ever heard of the Mad Bubbler?
Yep,
Mhm.
I've seen it on that Toy Hunter show.
Yeah, so that was only a prototype that was made,
Right.
but apparently
Yeah.
it's so popular that people are casting them now. So you can
Oh,
you
really?
can buy one casted and paint it yourself.
Oh, that's cool.
No,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
The bubbler.
So yeah, it was cool seeing that stuff again, like recently, like a few years back. Like my cousin has them all.
Dude, it's gonna take years, but dude, I mean, what Super 7 sticks with this? Dude, we could get all those Berserkers and all those guys.
Yeah.
Oh god, I hope so.
Yeah, Brian's excited. Dom, what about you? Did you have any?
I had a few of the action figures. I didn't have any of the play sets. My friend next door had the Thunder Tank, and he was more completed on the set with most
Yo.
of the villains.
Dom, call him. We want him on the show.
No. This is a different neighbor. It was a different neighbor. This was my best friend growing up. He had like the Thundercats, more of the Thundercats than I did. I think I eventually picked up Tigra. Tigra was my favorite for some reason. I just liked the tiger stripes and all that stuff. And then I think I did have Lino and Mumra. Those are the only three figures I ever picked up. And I would bring, we would have our, he had actually a playroom where he had all his toys, and I was so jealous because I never had a singled out playroom. My bedroom or my basement was kind of my playroom, but he had like his father, I guess, created a little playroom for him that was off the kitchen, and it had stored all his toys. So like we didn't matter how messy that toy room ever got. It was like never cleaned up, and we would just start from where we ended off in the next day. So but it was always fun walking over toys and getting to the corner where we played our next adventure.
Huddled in the corner.
Yeah, like it was just weird. Like it was just toys everywhere. And then we would just set up one corner where we would just do our day of activities and playing with toys, and then we would just leave, go get dinner. I was always eating over his house, and then we would come over the next day from school and just go to that same corner, or just build another corner where we would just have another make believe session of whatever G.I. Joe's, Transformers, or Star Wars and stuff like that.
That's nice that you were able to play like that. Like, I had a problem growing up where, like, they had to buy me and my cousin, who were basically a few months apart, the same toy. Because if they didn't, when it was time to go home, it was always a fight with one of us. Like, I want that. That's coming home with me. You know what I mean? It was times when people would be like, whose is it? So whose is it? We would both lie. You know what I mean? And like, it's mine. The other one would be like, no, it's mine. And be like, because sometimes we would have the same toy, but didn't remember what we brought. You know what I'm saying?
Like a lot of my,
Yeah,
a lot of my toys ended up staying there, because I was there more often than not, with him. And the funny thing, one of our traditions were, like, after Christmas, like that Christmas morning after we opened all our toys, we would I would hang out in my front porch waiting for him to come out after he was done with like his opening of his presents, and we would just literally play. Like, if it wasn't snowing and there was we would just bring the toys out and show what we both got, and we would just play right there outside for a while, and then just kind of see what he's got, what Transformers he got this year, what Transformer I got this year, or what toy, and that's the kind of what we did, and eventually we would bring him into the toy room. And
Dom, you reminded me of something. So, not to tangent, guys, real quick. You know what we used to do as kids? So, me and my cousin Jay, my cousin Frankie, you guys have met, right? Obviously, he's been on a few of the shows. He's 7 years younger than us. So, when we used to, Christmas Eve, we used to always get together as a family. And the presents would be under the thing. We used to see Dave and Jay's presents under the tree. So, we used to tell Frankie to open them. Think, open that's for you. And then, like, he used to get yelled at. And like, why'd you do that? Because he was he was a kid. If I was,
he would have got
he was like 1 or 2, so he wouldn't even know how to fucking reciprocate, say anything back. He would just cry. And we used to be like, yes, now we have something to play with. We would tell him to open our fucking gift.
That's awesome.
Schemers, you.
Sorry, Frank.
But yeah, like we would those were like my favorite character. My favorite character was Tigra at the time, and he was Lino, and we would just play. Again, every time we would just have this Thundercat. I don't think he had any of the play sets. I don't think we had the Cat's Lair or anything like that. But he had I remember he had the Thunder Tank and stuff like that. So and majority of the villains. Like, I didn't have any of the villains, so. But
why Tigra though?
You like the stripes, you said.
I don't know.
Tigra
I think in the show,
Yeah,
like he disappeared. I always thought that when he disappeared and turned invisible, it was cool. And
I never cared for him much.
dude,
I don't know
when you
why.
guys rewatch this stuff, I hear it's on Hulu. I don't know who here has Hulu, but dude, pay attention to the music, dude. It's so
yeah.
great. Those themes for each character. But like, there's an extended Panthro theme that's just fucking bonkers. It's so good.
Oh, when he goes off, yeah, I've seen that.
Dude, I'd like to hear Dust make a beat out of that thing.
No.
But I just enjoyed the show at the time, and it was kind of one of those, like, coming in late, and he picked up a couple one Christmas, and I didn't even have any of that I got, and we were playing it, and it got me into the show, and I started watching the show with him, and then basically I think my that year for my birthday, my mom picked me up a couple of the figures, so that's how it rolled.
Okay. Cool.
How about you, Gary?
No, I didn't have any. So, JD, did you get a chance to go?
Nope.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So, I didn't.
That's all right.
That was,
Keep going.
It's fine. I'm not here.
No, go for it. Sure.
Just kick me in the ribs, Tom. That's cool.
Sorry, JD.
I'm just kidding. No. So I'm very similar to Dom's answer. Tiger was my favorite. I had Lino and I had Mum-Ra. My brother had Panthro and Slithe and Monkey Man, and we had a bunch of the other ones. Like I had some of the Berserkers. I still have the Berserkers. He had Safari Joe. We didn't have any of the vehicles, or the only Cat's Lair we had was the Voltron Fortress. That was the only
Oh,
thing
that
we had.
works. That totally works.
Yeah.
The Voltron Castle, JD.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
It's probably a
yeah.
tangent, but I'd love to see how we repurposed our.
You
toy.
still have it, JD?
No, I wish.
I know you
But,
still have a bunch of your old stuff. So that's what I have.
Some of them, yeah. Like some of it, I've replaced over the years, so I've had to, look for bigger or better things, But yeah, like my answer's similar to Dom's. I didn't have any of the vehicles, and Tiger was my favorite because he was, like the invisibility, and he was always like the problem solver,
Yeah.
And then Panthro, of course, was, inventing stuff all the time. He was the mad scientist.
He's the tinker.
Yeah, the tinker.
The nunchucks, bro. It's all about the nunchucks,
Yeah.
bro.
So that one episode where he goes through the challenges.
Yes, thank you. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
bro.
that one episode always got to me, and
Yep.
just him challenging or going through the trials between with all the characters, and
Yep.
and so that was kind of an episode. I think it's a 2-part, right? It's a 2-part episode.
It might be even like
3-part,
5
maybe. Yeah,
parts.
like it's a
5,
parter,
yeah.
which I always loved as a kid. I loved it when it's like to be continued. I was like, fuck yeah!
You gotta tune in tomorrow. They're gonna continue the story.
Does Chitara do anything for you guys?
Oh, always like
Oh, that
It did as a
that-
kid, and it still does now for some reason.
dude, that
like
pose
that husky voice, man.
That pose that she strikes at the end of that opening sequence. Oh Jesus, gets me every time.
We all know that was not by coincidence, right? All right. Well, cool. Well, I thought that was just kind of be an interesting topic. I've got my list. I clicked off which properties we shared. Maybe, a few weeks from now we can come back and revisit
yeah.
and share some more,
Yes,
But
right.
I think, it's kind of good to just remember the passion when you actually put these things to use, right? And enjoyed them with it. You're using your imagination versus just the hunt and, using them as display pieces sometimes. So it's kind of cool. It's also, like I say, you learn a little bit about each other. I think just, kind of just finding out which characters or vehicles appealed to them versus which ones they had. And, it's always kind of fun. So, but on that note, it's 9:30-ish, so we can wrap it up for today. Appreciate you guys being open-minded and flexible to the topic. But we can go around, I guess, right? Dom, where can we find you?
You can find me in the groups Dominic Rosso here Tuesday nights with you guys and chilling, floating down the Delaware River with the children.
And having Frankfurters,
The grizzly,
right?
the old grizzly bear having hot dogs.
Hot dogs. Okay.
Gary, look at
Still
the
in
last
that
comment
ballpark.
from Jedi Mindset in the chat.
I gotta see if I can find it. I'm not so
Jason,
good.
the Wheeled Warriors theme was always number one to me. That was on the
Oh.
list, right, Gary?
Oh, I got that one. Yes,
Yeah.
it's on my list actually. Yes, I totally agree with that one. Yep,
We'll revisit. To be continued.
we will. Yes, yep, exactly. Nick, I got like 10 minutes left. Yeah,
Nick
I got
is
like
so
10
smart.
minutes. I know, right? All right, Dave. Where are we gonna find you?
You can find me here on Tuesdays. I'm on Instagram, Energon Addict, and
Yep, saw your pictures.
I'm going to be playing with my toys when I get off of this for some reason. I have the urge to fucking
Adventures.
play with shit right now. It just stinks because honestly, like the stuff we have now, it's made better. Like it's made good, but it's made from a collector standpoint. It's really not always made just to mess around with.
Yeah, and play with. Yeah,
Yeah, so I don't know.
it's always made to play with. but,
I think
you
it's
put it
always
to-
cool to have some retro stuff around. Just
Yeah.
to fucking knock around with. you know?
Yeah, absolutely, right? I mean, everything doesn't have to be a super fancy showpiece sometimes, I think, just to... I agree with
Yeah.
that point. So, okay. JD?
You can find me probably digging through some closets because
dig through
talking
those
about all this
closets.
stuff. I
Right.
kind of want to dig some old toys out.
See, that's
you
where
know?
I'm jealous, dude. You
So,
guys, like
Dave-
some of you
Dave,
have your
like-
old stuff.
Yeah, we should just have like a BTM party, and we'll just come out, like everybody
Dude.
can crash here, and we'll just get all of my old toys out, and we'll just have like a retro party, and we'll do it live.
And do edibles?
Yeah.
Sure.
So wait, I do have one question. JD, is all your stuff, is it organized, or is it like, would it be
For
a
the
hunt?
most part,
That's not
Okay.
the fun of it. Have it all.
No,
dude,
for the
let's
most
go
part,
find
they're-
shit.
it's separated per line at least.
Okay.
Like all of my vintage GI Joe stuff, that stuff's organized like each figure is in a separate bag.
Okay. All right.
Their
I see
accessories in
that.
separate bags, and then they're all in a bag together. You know, what I
Okay.
mean? It's like
I was I love
ridiculously
matching
sorted.
up like accessories, you know what I mean, to characters, you know, and trying to figure out who belongs
Yeah.
to what, and like piecing it back together, and vehicle pieces, and this missile goes here, and this goes there, and this is from that. And so
for the
I got
most part, all of the vintage stuff is that way. So,
all right, that's
with
cool.
the exception of the GI Joe stuff.
I can go
But,
for a
yeah, you can
G.I.
find
Joe
me-
playtime. I could definitely go for a
Yeah,
G.I. Joe playtime.
absolutely.
Sorry, JD.
But yeah, you can find me Pigment Surgery on Instagram and Xbox Live. Shelf Gravy all over the place. Here every Tuesday night with these fine gentlemen here, rehashing some little kid dreams. And tomorrow night on to Figure
Nice.
and then Shelf Gravy stuffs.
Okay, Brian.
At Brinklizer on Instagram, in the Realm Facebook group. As JD said, tune in tomorrow for Figure Bangin'.
What are you guys looking at?
Oh,
secret.
I tried to just slip it in there just to see if you would let us know.
You can't.
I mean, you can pretty much guess what it is. I think.
The
It'll leave you in awe.
P.I.
the little speed buggy
Oh, man.
homage, right? It's awesome. Listen, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody tuning in the chat tonight. You can find me on Facebook as well, and then here on Tuesdays with these guys. I don't do anything on Instagram. You can find me if you want to come to the gym, where they now make you wear a mask when you walk in, yet you can immediately take it off. Makes no sense. But they've gone from checking your body temperature by your ear with this thing that you put your wrist up to, which is pretty interesting. I never saw such a device in my life until late last week. So,
Wait,
yeah.
they take your temperature in your ear.
no,
through
not in your
wrist?
ear, but they had the thing that not in your ear, but they would hold it against your head. Yeah, not directly against your head, but kind of aim it
Yeah.
there. Those I've seen those before, like for all the testing stuff. But
Yeah,
this
that's how you tell how hot a pan is.
this standing device, you can put your wrist up against it, not against it, but I don't know, just tracks your temperature, whatever. If it keeps the gyms open, right, in this crazy world, I'll suffer through it. But yeah, if when you guys want to hit the buttons, we got some great shows on the ROC networks. Pretty much a little something for everybody. Yep.
Huh?
Or not hit the button.
I got it.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
Is that it? Are we off?
And we off now? You want to go? You want to be bye bye?
Say it with me now.
Round